Now, we're gonna talk about food because it's very important. We celebrate with food, and for that, we're gonna make one of the most delicious that I grew up with eating, natilla. Hello, everyone. My name is Nico Andreas. I am a classical guitarist, a singer, and a performer, and I live in New York City. I was born in the beautiful country of Colombia. And today I'm very excited because we're gonna be sharing a little bit of what we did in Colombia when I was growing up to celebrate this amazing December celebrations. So to talk about that, we have to go way back in time. We always have been celebrating everything that is positive. Whenever something comes from the cosmos, from our gods, from whatever our beliefs are, we always celebrate nature. We celebrate when it rains. We celebrate when the harvest comes, when the springtime arrives. So these celebrations are always accompanied mainly with music and of course food. So in Colombia, were some very strong traditions, like for example, the adoration to the stones. There is the Zenú tribe in Colombia, and they believe that stones had a particular power, that they came from other places, that they would bring something positive or negative. So if the fisherman was trying to catch fish, he would throw the net to the river, but then maybe a stone wouldn't allow that to happen because the net would get stuck on the stone. So they would take that stone and pray to that stone, become familiar with the stone, and then eventually that stone will bless them with amazing fishing days. And another great example of these traditions that were in the past that we still keep today is celebrating rain. You know, rain is very positive for the land, to feed the animals. Rain is extremely important. So every time there is rain, there is a celebration of dance and food and of course music. Which brings me to this beautiful instrument. It's called the maraca. It's a native Colombian instrument and it's made out of gourd. It's the family of the pumpkin. They let it dry to the sun and then they put the seeds of the same fruit inside and then they stick it with this piece of wood and it sounds like this. This song talks about rain and the daily activities of life. It's a song that's been there for many years. Aguacero de mayo, déjalo caer. Aguacero de mayo, déjalo caer. Bonita tu casa de palmas, bonita tu casa de palmas, bonita tu parasol, bonita tu parasol, bonita la que está dentro, se me parte el corazón. Aguacero de mayo, déjalo caer. Aguacero de mayo, déjalo caer. Bonita la mañanita cuando viene amaneciendo, los gallos merodeando y los trapiches moliendo, los gallos merodeando y los trapiches moliendo. Aguacero de mayo, déjalo caer. And another great instrument is the gaita or cuisi. And this instrument is made out of charcoal powder with a mix of beeswax, and then the mouthpiece is the feather of a duck. And this instrument plays melodies. And it comes in pairs. This is the female flute called gaita or cuisi bunsi, and it plays the melody. And then it comes with the male version of it that plays the accompaniment. Anyways, now we're gonna talk about food because it's very important. We celebrate with food, and for that we're gonna make one of the most delicious that I grew up with eating, natilla. Natilla is nothing else than a very firm milk and cinnamon custard. And we have cinnamon, we have the mix that we have carefully prepared with a lot of great ingredients. And then we have raisins and some milk, fresh milk, and we have some sweet milk, and of course sugar and delicious things. So you know what? Let's just do this. We're gonna put this on the oven. We're gonna throw in the milk. Great. And then we're going to leave a little bit of milk that we're gonna put into the mix with some cinnamon sticks, because this is gonna be a lot of Colombian flavor. Natilla, my grandmother used to do it all the time, and it's so fantastic. When you have friends, you feed them depending on the part of the region of the country that you're from. If you're from the coast, most probably you will have fish with some fried plantains that we call patacones that are delicious. And if you're in the middle of the country, where the mountains, where I'm from, the beautiful city of Bogota, then you will have most probably soups, or the ajiaco, which is a soup that we make with 3 different kinds of potatoes. It's a very sophisticated, delicious, amazing thing. Today, we're gonna make this fantastic mixture. And then, that's great. Now we're gonna put it into the thing. Ooh la la! And now we're gonna get ready for our natilla. So while this is cooking, why don't we go back and play some fantastic music? And I'll tell you the story of the Day of Las Velitas. So the Day of Las Velitas is one of the most beautiful memories that I have from my childhood, because Las Velitas, or little candles, is the day where we celebrate the day of the Annunciation. Is when the Archangel Gabriel came to talk to Virgin Mary and told her she was gonna bear a child, the Son of God, baby Jesus. So this is December 7th. This is the day when the celebrations start, and they go all the way to January, when the 3 kings come full of gifts to baby Jesus. We start the celebration of the Velitas with this fantastic song. Farolitos en el cielo poco a poco van naciendo. Farolitos en el cielo poco a poco van naciendo. Como nace el sentimiento por las calles de mi pueblo. Como nace el sentimiento por las calles de mi pueblo. Corazón que canta, corazón que sueña, lleno de esperanza en la noche buena. Corazón que canta, corazón que sueña, lleno de esperanza en la noche buena. Ya se escucha la tambora repicando de alegría. Ya se escucha la tambora repicando de alegría. Y mecida por las olas va la luna en travesía. Y descendida por las olas va la luna en travesía. Corazón que canta, corazón que sueña, lleno de esperanza en la noche buena. Corazón que canta, corazón que sueña, lleno de esperanza en la noche buena. Aea, van sonando los tambores. Aea, pregonando sus amores. Aea, corazones que se alegran. Aea, pues llegó la noche buena. This song was about the Night of the Little Candles, and that's how we started celebrations that the Spaniards brought with them. So now, instead of having the stone or the rain to celebrate, we also have the beautiful traditions of the Bible. So we celebrate St. Peter's party, we celebrate St. John, we do a lot of music related to this. And in these places where these big stones used to exist, now there are temples, churches where we go and we praise and we try to connect with God. And then of course, food is a very important part of the celebration, especially the dinner of Christmas Eve. So family gets together, and before midnight in Colombia, we eat with family, and then at midnight we're so excited because there's a lot of gifts that are waiting to be opened right at midnight, the night of the 24th. And then all the kids are going to open their gifts. And then the grown-ups, after eating and sharing with family, they go out to the street and celebrate and party all night long, of course, eating and drinking delicious desserts and having a great time. And waiting for New Year's Eve, where we will have another amazing party until the day of the Three Kings, where they come, and our December celebrations end up like that. So now you know, if you want to go to Colombia, you have to prepare. You have to eat some buñuelos, some tamales, some amazing soups, dance the traditional music, cumbia, gaita music from the indigenous people, African music from the Pacific coast like currulao, the marimba instrument, and all of these beautiful things are part of what we are today, the fantastic mixture of the African, the European, and the native Colombian people. Thank you so much for listening to this and for inviting me to this beautiful moment of sharing a little bit of my beautiful culture. La Virgen se está peinando entre cortina y cortina, los cabellos son de oro y el peine de plata fina, pero mira cómo beben los peces en el río, pero mira cómo beben por ver al Dios nacido, beben y vuelven a beber los peces en el río por ver al Dios nacer. Ooh, it smells like hum. Bonita la mañanita, cuando viene amaneciendo, los gallos merodeando y los trapiches moliendo, los gallos merodeando y los trapiches moliendo.
What's good, y'all? So Keel Ross here, artist, activist, educator, consultant, CBT, coach practitioner, human being, Kennedy Arts. Thank you very much for having me. This question didn't really resonate much, but it made me reflect on a lot of my stories and certain things as I was growing up, because I didn't grow up with like holidays, I love yous, hugs, kisses, birthdays, so on and so forth, because, you know, I came here as a refugee and my family's survived a Khmer Rouge genocide. So when we came here, we were always on survivor mode, especially my parents. So all of that stuff, that family structure and that love was completely destroyed during the genocide. But I will share a few stories with you because, you know, certain things that I feel is important for people to know, especially with immigrants and refugees coming into this country and trying to assimilate and live that American dream in a sense, right? So, long story short, we were displaced here in a marginalized community. And I lived in a gang neighborhood for about 11 years. So I didn't see all those bright lights and holidays and Christmases and so on and so forth. So, here it goes. The holidays I wasn't really big on. I mean, everyone was like, the next day, we're going to have these Christmas presents and so on and so forth. And I was just, I don't have those kind of opportunities. I mean, one time we were sitting just on a porch, and we were waiting outside. It was snowing, as they were setting up these tables to give free gifts. And we were on welfare and public assistance, so sometimes you would get a free present. And the line was long, so we waited. And I kept walking and walking and walking and waiting. By the time it was not my time to get up to the table, there was hardly anything left. I mean, there was a Santa Claus there greeting everyone. But there were only a few presents left. I got one. I finally got it. I went back upstairs. I opened the box and I'm looking at it. I'm like, there were like 7 pieces of Legos. What am I supposed to do with this? Build something? I didn't know what to do. Another time, there was a knock at the door. Huh. I mean, I wasn't home alone. I think my parents were probably sleeping, but I didn't know what to do. The knock happened again. Now, we're not supposed to open our doors to strangers. I opened the door anyway. There was this big fat man in a red suit with a red bag. I didn't know what to do. So I grabbed the bag, I closed the door, I went around, I told my brother and my sister, and I said, look what we got. When we opened the bag up, there were presents everywhere, all wrapped up. And there were G.I. Joes, remote control cars, Barbies, all the toys that we've ever wanted, we got. Now, I don't think the toys were meant for us, but we didn't care at that moment. We opened all of them and we played with it. And we had remote control cars. I mean, we didn't have batteries. So I found some scissors, I cut the wire, back then there was a wire, I cut the wire off, and I just played around as if it was a regular car toy. And we were happy at that moment. And although these presents weren't meant for us, we kept them. You know, and it wasn't easy. As a younger kid in elementary school, I was wondering why they built things like snowmen. Like, what was the point of a snowman? It's cold. I'm freezing. But we were outside. And I learned about the holidays and Christmas and so on and so forth because of school. So we were building this snowman, right? And we made this big snowball. And then another big snowball to go on top of that snowball. And then another big or smaller snowball to go on top of that snowball. And then you were supposed to put on a hat, a scarf, rocks or whatever for buttons. We didn't have those things, so we had some regular small rocks. We placed it on the middle ball, snowball, here. We didn't have a carrot, whatever they use for a nose, we had a stick. So we used a bigger stick as a nose. Didn't really have things for a mouth, so we put more rocks on the mouth. For the arms, we had little broken tree branches, so we stuck the broken tree branches on the side of this snowman. No hat though, no scarf. And I took a look at it from a step back and I was like, this is kind of creepy. It looks a bit scary almost, and it just didn't represent what the snowmen looked when we saw it in the school books and in TV and the cartoons and so on and so forth. So did I get that feeling of Christmas? And no, I didn't. It was more Halloween than anything, but that was what it was. And I didn't get why students, kids, will come to school the next day so excited about opening presents. I wanted to get that feeling of Christmas, that feeling of the holidays, because I didn't know what that was about. And why kids were so cool about coming the next day and saying, yo, I got this and I got that. I didn't get a chance to do that. We didn't have these holidays. So what I did was, I got a laundry basket, emptied it out, I put it in the corner of my room. I got my brother and my sister, and we would wrap up our old broken toys or regular toys or old clothes in some newspaper that we had. Taped them up, we put them into the laundry basket on Christmas Eve. And then we would go to bed, and we were super excited that we're going to have something. I mean, no Christmas tree, but whatever. The morning came. We woke up, we threw our covers off of us, and we went to the laundry basket, and we started tearing up all those presents that we wrapped up ourselves with the newspaper. But we didn't get that feeling. I didn't have that Christmas spirit that everyone was talking about. These were just the same old toys and old clothes that we had that were passed down to us and that were donated. You know, I get it. We're supposed to be happy for what we got. But at that time, we wanted to be like everybody else, and we weren't. And it stayed for a while. I mean, I have a daughter now who's 17. We have the option. I give her the option of like, do you want presents? Let's do presents. You want a tree? We'll have a tree. But again, it's not in the spirit of Christmas. It's more so as in, I want her to have the option. But I do watch Christmas stories and Christmas movies. And I enjoy them because it reflects a life that I don't have or may potentially never have. And I enjoy the movies because it does bring me that kind of spirit, I guess. And it does feel good watching it, even though my life is completely different. And, for a while, and now, I don't try to assimilate anymore. It's more so as in, lives are just different. And these traditions that other folks have, I may not. But I do have lived experiences. I do have stories. And the spirit that I'm talking about, more so, is internally just me enjoying it as if it was something that was not real, but can be. So, I don't know.
Hello, everyone. My name is Farah Siraj, and I am delighted to be performing for you and sharing my story with you as part of the Kennedy Center's Arts Across America program. So, to give you some background, I was born and raised in Jordan, in the capital of Amman. And around wintertime, around Christmas season, Jordan and the streets of Amman just fill up with Christmas lights and Christmas trees and Santas everywhere. And it's a really happy, beautiful time of the year. And those are some of my beautiful memories of growing up in Jordan. But one thing that's very, very special is that Christmas Day was my grandmother's birthday. And so even though I come from a Muslim family, my grandmother decided when she had grandchildren that she wanted to celebrate Christmas and put up a Christmas tree and put presents under the tree, and we would all gather together and have a meal and then open our presents. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful time. And that became our family tradition in Christmas every year, ever since I can remember. And the beautiful thing about Jordan is also it's not uncommon for people to celebrate all holidays. For example, if you're a Muslim, you'll go to your friend's house or your neighbor's house, maybe bring them a present and wish them Merry Christmas, and they will do the same for you in Eid. But my family in particular, because it was my grandmother's birthday and she decided to have this tradition of her being, Santa, putting the presents under the tree and us all gathering together, it became the most important holiday for our family. And it would be the one holiday that we needed to make sure we were all there for. So it's kind of funny, when my friends would, see their Muslim friend, me, go like, I can't miss Christmas. I have to be home for Christmas. I wouldn't forgive myself if I missed it. And they'd be like, wait a minute, aren't you Muslim? And I'd be like, yes, but I celebrate and my whole family celebrates big time. So even though my grandmother passed, we still celebrate Christmas and we try to make it a point to still get together. And every Christmas, every December, I think of her and I try to honor her memory and just remember how much she loved life, how full of life she was, and how much she loved to celebrate and take any moment that would be a cause for celebration to make a big celebration. And that's one of the most beautiful things that I learned from her. And when she passed away, I had a rough time accepting and healing from losing her. And purple was her favorite color. So when she passed, we all took some purple and white flowers to her resting place. And so the song came to me. It was a song that came to me where the lyrics were, between the purple and the white, I see shades of you. And this song helped me heal and helped me remember how special she was and how our bond will always be there no matter what. So I want to share the song with you. It's called Shades of You. You lay beneath the flowers so peacefully, I know, and your peace overcomes me, and it brings me down to earth. I still hear your laughter in my head, and I miss you every day. I know it was your time to go after all that you've been through. Between the purple and the white, I see shades of you. Between the purple and the white, I see shades of you. I see shades of you. I see shades of you. This garden full of flowers is your home for a while. I'll see you on the other side. This is not goodbye. Until then, come and visit me. Come see me in my sleep. Give me signs that you are still around, that your soul is still alive. Between the purple and the white, I see shades of you. Between the purple and the white, I see shades of you. I see shades of you. I see shades of you. Ever since I can remember, you've been there, like a soundtrack to my life. And now I look around and remember all the good times. Still it hurts to be without you. Between the purple and the white, I see shades of you. Between the purple and the white, I see shades of you. I see shades of you. I see shades